This is Othercide, a turn-based tactical game that speaks to its audience through brutally rewarding gameplay, intriguing story delivery, and epic boss battles. It whispers a promise of one of the most unique art styles, defined by its bold color choice. It's monochromatic. However, to highlight the most significant moments, it screams with red. It is an art style that stands out. But looking pretty is only one aspect of video game art direction. A game must also speak clearly to its players. Readability is a term used to describe how easily players can interpret visual elements and understand their meaning and function within the game. How does Othercide, constrained by its limited palette, articulate its style so coherently? And why did developers choose to express themselves in this way? We had clear mission: to create unique art style that sets the game apart from other tactical games. One by one, the rules of Othercide's art direction were set, always in adequation with the gameplay and the lore. While I don't know the exact rules that were set, I will go, however, through 6 topics that can be used to create a clear art style. First is size. The same model can communicate different messages based solely on its size. We use distinct words for differently sized objects. This is a toy, this is a replica, and this is the original car. The difference with size alone allows us to make a different connection with the model. This is an enemy, but those are just part of a very spooky background. Silhouette. 2 models might look distinct up close but struggle to pronounce their uniqueness from distance. By decomposing a silhouette into a set of basic shapes, you can learn that some models are nearly identical in structure. In case of League of Legends, it is important that skins of the same champion all have the same silhouette. When those basic shapes are distinct, models articulate their uniqueness. In Othercide, models have slight variations in their shape to make them recognizable. Technically, the same enemy might have just one different shape added, creating a unique silhouette. But what happens when both size and silhouette fail to make models distinct? That's where the third rule comes into play. Texture. A cake and a jelly both look very similar if we look only at the outline. They can also be of the same size, but because of the texture, we can tell which one is which quite easily, even without color. Rocks, pavement and water beneath characters' feet all look distinct because of the specific textures applied. While size, silhouette and texture address individual elements, the remaining rules focus on how groups of models speak in unison, creating a clear visual language. Value, which refers to the lightness or darkness of a color. But how is it used to create groups in art? Instead of creating every piece in the whole value spectrum, visuals are mostly created in a set range. Background elements that are supposed to be toned down populate the lower end of the value range. Elements that are considered to be part of the gameplay are using a higher range of values to stand out from the background. UI, however, occupies both the darkest and the brightest tones to stand out the most, while using the 5th rule. Contrast. By reserving the extremes of the value spectrum, UI elements achieve striking contrast. It's hard for humans to perceive a tiny difference, but a huge gap in values catches the eye quite easily. This is reserved for UI, as it must be visible and readable at all times. However, there are elements of the UI that need to stand out even more. There is something that screams even louder. Color. Since the values are exhausted entirely, and UI uses the biggest contrast between the brightest and the darkest values, the only remaining option to highlight something is to use the color. While UI elements use contrast to stay visible at all times, the usage of color ensures that any extra important aspect of the UI stands out even more. But UI is not the only place where the color is used. Red is also very present in the gameplay, highlighting the most critical events of it. It screams at the player. Its very deliberate usage always stands out from the black and white language of art. It's amazing that a video game can communicate in so many various ways. But why this specific direction? I always try to infuse pieces of my own experiences and feelings into the project, especially during the early ideation stages. I consider that if you are honest with your own sensations, there will be kind of resonance with the ones experiencing your art. An invisible connection. Video games art is a bit like spoken language. Despite the fact that two people may speak the same one, they still use it a bit differently. Its shape, influenced by many life events and experiences that create a unique blend of knowledge and emotion. A unique dialect, if you will. I want you to see the world through my eyes, and I want to see the world through yours, so that we can get a better understanding of each other and the world. Thank you for watching. Links to all various stuff I found while researching this are in the description below, as well as a link to GOG DRM free version if you want to buy, own and play the game. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Good luck and have fun.